Namaste, namaskaram. When you rise in the morning, connect with gratitude. Be grateful for this new dawning of a new day. Greet the sun, conduct your ritual bathing, cleanse your genetic vehicle, and celebrate the sun. Celebrate creation. Connect with your inner creator, the divine fire within you. Thus you connect with the fire of the cosmos. And at that point, you begin to rise. The kundalini you feel rise within you. Kundalini is life force, chi, ki, prana, vril, life force. It is what makes the flower blossom, the wasp sting. It is the very essence of the cosmos, the plasma, the unified field of love consciousness that exists within everything alive. Certainly everything that is sentient and aware of their consciousness, aware that they are alive. That is God. That is Source. This is the esoteric account of human energetics. And it considers Kundalini to be your life force that resides at the base of your spine, your first root chakra. Much thanks to Mohsin Paul Safazari, PhD, for this presentation. The Om Bond the Earth Ashram for compassion and strength and rising life force energies. Thank you. Namaste. Namaskaram. It is said that as your natural frequency, your consciousness increases. Your kundalini starts rising, the spinal column. Purportedly, when your kundalini reaches your pineal, you are enlightened. When it reaches your crown chakra, you have attained your Christos Sophia consciousness status. Keep in mind, enlightened can also be understood as integration. A lot of times people try to come at you and expect you to know everything, to know all the facts and details. No, you just need to know yourself. You need to integrate yourself, collect all fragments of your soul, reunite, reconnect. That is enlightenment. Awakening your Kundalini energy in the body will raise your vibrations from beta to alpha to theta. These are brainwave states. These are qualities of consciousness, of vibration. The serpent and the kundalini at the base of the spine. Keep in mind, kundalini, there should be nothing that triggers your religious trauma syndrome with this information. Kundalini is the sound of the dog barking. Kundalini is you greeting and hugging a long lost loved one. It is life, energy, cosmos energy. It is what powers the entire cosmos. Love, life force. At the base of the spine, presumably the dormant kundalini, the Shakti, is symbolized by a serpent, coiled into 3.5 circles around the central axis. Purportedly, the serpent blocks the entrance to Sushumna, with its lower end remaining closed, and their esoteric account further contends that this occurs. The English is a little bit, different because he's not a native speaker, but you understand. Hit the subscribe button. As long as the Kundalini is not awakened, of course, we have this is the staff of Caduceus, Hermes, Thoth, all connected, folks, all connected. The Kundalini system with dormant central channel. We have the right side, left side of the person, Sahara chakra, the crown chakra. The vital energies of the opposite forces circulating in Ida and Pingala are unified. That's your male and your female, essentially. Your left brain, your right brain, your God mind, and your matrix mind. Your left brain, side of the brain, which is all ego facts, is the matrix mind. The divine mind, the God mind, is your right hemisphere, your creative aspect. Ida and Pingala, male, female, unified, and the Shakti Kundalini is awakened. The Kundalini begins to rise up Sushumna, energizing the seven chakras. Sushumna is the central channel according to esoteric studies. It is through Sushumna that the static, unmanifested Kundalini, the Shakti, ascends and reaches the crown, the highest psychic center residing at the top of the head. Chakras, Nadi, and Kundalini. And this information is worldwide. It is in the esoteric, the knowledge of every enlightened, shamans in the Peruvian jungles, and they all have their own way of describing this technology, this spiritual technology. It is only because it has been purposely obfuscated by the powers that be to disconnect mankind from their true divine power. And it continues with the advancement of AI technology and getting everybody all enamored with the machine. It's anything that takes you away from unconditional love and your divine self-empowerment is the matrix. Anything that takes you towards unconditional love and connecting you in your own divine matrix and thus the source, that's the new earth. According to esoteric studies, within the Sushumna Nadi there are three additional subtle channels, Vajra, Chittarini, and Brahma Nadi, that facilitate Kundalini to rise from just below the root, first chakra, to the crown, seventh chakra, and the spinal. We have a depiction of that. The technique of Kundalini Yoga proposes guiding prana, the vital air, in a circulatory movement through Ida and Pingala down to the base of the spine and into the space where Kundalini lies forward. 8 fetal cells located in our tailbone control the Kundalini energy currents as they run through the meridian and nadia system. The first cell creates the main vertical spiritual current up the hara line, center of the body. It's the Japanese word hara, is your abdomen area, but the seat of your power, the hara line. The Kundalini coils in the tailbone, or Cossack, provides challenges to connect to the silver cord that runs up the hara line to the pineal gland in the brain. Hara line is the silvery white vertical channel. Through consistent activation of the Kundalini, initially based in the tailbone, as it moves up the spine, the pillars of light and the silver cord are strengthened, facilitating the founder's flames integration of our higher consciousness. Yes, Creator. They left this trigger within us, this Kundalini, that's ascension. There very well may be activity with the sun, 3 days of darkness, a solar flash. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen pretty soon. But then again, people have been saying that for a long time. It does not matter. It is incumbent upon you on this path of ascension, which is initiation, to do your inner work. Let the outside take care of itself, because as above, so below, as within, so without. It's all interrelated, and I'm quite certain that the divine timing, it will work as your Kundalini awakens and arises everything else will flash. It's all one divine, unified field of consciousness. Believe that. When the pineal gland receives adequate stimulation of higher dimensional spectrum of frequency, DNA activation into the soul body, its soul bodies begins. So there we have another depiction of your brain physiology. There's the eye of Horus, or the eye of Ra, depending on which way. Eye of Horus is the right side, eye of Ra is left. Maybe I got it mixed up. I'm mixed up. The silver cord running along the hara line, spinal cord, staff, the spear of destiny, rod of power, your Jedi saber, Merkaba, fields constitute actual consciousness, traveling vehicles capable of moving in and out of the 12 dimensions of physicality, through which frequencies of electromagnetic currents such as Kundalini life force waves circulate, all of the associated energies. There's your Merkaba, three components of Egyptian linguistical technology. Merkaba, those are Egyptian words. What are advantages and disadvantages of raising Kundalini? Kundalini is a Sanskrit word. All this technology is connected. Humanity is united by this divine spiritual technology. When you turn within, there is no exterior, there's nothing that divides us. We're all consciousness. There's no multiplicity of consciousness. There's a unified field of consciousness, of awareness, quantum awareness. The advantage is that your Kundalini must rise on your spine column as the hara line, your silver cord, your spear of destiny, your rod of power, your Jedi column, your spinal cord, to reach out to the higher chakras and interfacing with your chakra cones, opening and consequently activating your dormant DNA strand. This way, your frequency of consciousness increases and you can eventually transmigrate to the coordinate systems in which higher dimensional space-times and accordingly higher harmonic universes are located. What are advantages and disadvantages of raising Kundalini? The rising of your Kundalini is a key factor in ascension. On the other hand, due to the multitude of frequency fences that the negative aliens had installed in your holographic morphogenetic fields, these frequency fences, as the name suggests, block and thwart the process of your chakra cones opening and activating, causing energetic blockages in your body that get installed at localized points within your body, where the chakra points are concentrated and accordingly cause unduly physical pains and suffering. What are the advantages and disadvantages of raising Kundalini? Am I going to go to hell? Is my preacher going to say I'm going to go to hell? The initial point is at the base. Oh, thank you. Right? Thank you, YouTube. Sorry. I can raise my Kundalini, but I can't raise the price to pay for YouTube Premium. The initial point is at the base of your spine, at your tailbone, where Cossack resides. That is your root chakra and the location where first birth transduction sequence begins, with the 8 petal cells being concentrated in your tailbone, and it is one of the main parts of your body where a significant frequency fence exists. Other points in your body include between the 2nd and 4th chakra, where the 2-4 split occurs, in your heart. 4th chakra, yes, because your heart is what has been stymied, what has been atrophied, because that is the heart is everything. That is your power. When you open your heart gate, heart chakra, heart portal, that is the dimensions to your heart, to the higher frequencies. When my Kundalini activation began August 11th of 2021, I was receiving the 4th cosmic ray. It was hitting my heart. I was on this, despite all the darkness that I was in, trust me, and I was at the very bottom. Trust me. But that heart was being just inundated with the 4th ray energy, cosmic energies of the 4th ray. The heart And it began, and it culminated September 24th, 2021, in full, just like a jet force eruption of nuclear power. But it began with the heart. In the heart, it's all with your heart. If you can't connect with any of this, connect with your heart. Begin to experience compassion, not passion. Passion is different. Passion is something that your ego deems. But when you have compassion, you can't help but be in love with everything. That sounds perhaps unsurmountable. Even in my life, I'm still trying to develop that compassion, but it's possible. What are advantages and disadvantages? What are advantages and disadvantages of raising Kundalini? Am I going to go to hell? In your midbrain, your pineal pituitary chakra, as well as thalamus, hypothalamus, and amygdala. Your amygdala resides in this domain. Later on, when your Kundalini rises to your pineal and ends up in the area of your nose, there comes the real pain concerning your eighth chakra, located at your thymus, where your permanent seed atom of your original seed of consciousness resides. When your thymus chakra begins to activate the monadic, refers to your harmonic universe 3, or dimension 7 and 9, that's your oversoul, the big oversoul that we're all fractals of. Harmonic universe number 3, sequence of integration begins at links your 8th and 9th chakra, located just above your medulla oblongata, where the base of your skull meets your neck, towards the left side, your Ida, or your Pingala, I forget. Here, a moving gyroscopic field develops, having a central axis that goes through your pineal gland. This is the onset of excruciating pains that affects your neck, midbrain, top of your shoulders, stretching down your spine, your Jedi column, and meeting at the mid-back, where your high heart chakra, your thymus. And this is you have a physical chakra, a physical heart, but you also have an etheric heart. So it's energy, because all is energy ultimately. These physical bodies, genetic vehicles, are the lowest vibrating energy. It's all based on something. It's based on energy and love. Your central nervous system panel resides. Note that as the third dimensional embodied beings, we are not designed to process such high frequential plasmic light energies that we keep receiving. And to exacerbate the problem is the question of these various frequency fences that thwart the process of opening of your chakras, leading to energy blockages and further pains. Yes, the dark ones are doing all they can to keep this. But I think we should just focus on ourselves. Darkness perhaps still exists, but as long as you see it as energy, and it's a test, and it's as you overcome each test and rise up your Jedi column, then the darkness has served its purpose. It's all polarity, negative, positive energies anyway. When your energies diminish and descend further down, causing downshifting of your frequency light quotient. Have you heard what sodomy does to a human? Are you saying Kundalini energy is a negative concept, or that releasing sexual energy causes a downshifting of the frequency light quotient? Kundalini is a redundant term, especially when it refers to the two winding snakes. That is the concoction of the negative aliens that has ties to their caduceus matrix. And yes, I am speaking of releasing sexual energy that causes a downshifting of the frequency light quotient. What the advocates of the ritual Kundalini rising say, Kundalini processes begins in the root chakra and then slowly moves up the spinal column, your Jedi column. This can proceed with an excruciatingly intense manner, with vibration growing ever more intense, leading to sensation of heating developed in the body that can grow hotter and hotter. The sensation then reaches the solar plexus, with the filling the chest cavity while reaching the peak heat intensity. But the participants contend that they do not mind this, as they are more compelled to direct their Kundalini to continue moving upward. The organs then soon have the sensation of having been set on fire. Then the entire body feels as if it has become immersed in a blissful vibration. And the participants contend they were still compelled to direct the sensation upward again until seemingly the floor beneath them began to disappear. Yes, exactly. And they were falling. I was floating. I've never experienced anything like that. I've experienced quite a few things in my time. This is when they begin to think they are seeing a brilliant white light, a silhouette of thin human-like figure with 6 arms and an oddly shaped head. As they feel they are falling, they often see a 6-armed entity, a spider-like creature with many arms, that often commonly try to cloak themselves and portray themselves as angels. And what really occurs is their multiple arms are disguised as wings to appear as traditionally accepted our guardians and saviors. Here then the sensation of blissful vibration is quickly replaced by the feeling of being electrocuted throughout their body, which invokes a great sense of anxiety followed by intensified fear in them. The intensified fear experienced during so-called Kundalini experience soon gives way to a feeling of impending doom, a form of fear of certain death. They begin to sweat, experiencing shock, shaking, leading to exhaustion and panic. And although the whole experience only lasts just a few minutes, it can culminate in utter dread. The warrior of the spirit who does not surmount this test, this experience, will either die or go crazy. The Consciousness and Spiritual Science Institute publishing for this educational slide presentation, initially loving and painstakingly prepared for the students and apprentices members of Facebook as a service to God and humanity. And there's a benefit to the all, for the sole purpose of spiritually awakening the public from their condemnation to unconsciousness enslavement. So I have permission to share this. But I will tell you one brief caveat from my experience of Kundalini activation. Yeah, all that with the 6-armed spiders and the impending doom and the hell and you will be tested. It's what's called the guardian of the threshold. It comes for a reckoning. It is like Anubis, where you're weighed, your heart is weighed against truth, but you're also your intentions, your heart is weighed. And what I mean by that is, I'm quite certain if I hadn't developed love, an aspect of love, or it's gone through love, it's, with even these dysfunctional relationships that I had, but I still experienced love. And it was love that saved me, I believe. That I was headed one way. I'll tell you this, I was headed to be basically consumed by the AI matrix. And I would have been a foot soldier for Satan forevermore, but what kept me from going that way was love. And as I began to focus more in on that, and I believe there were some angels around me that were whispering in my ear that I was special, and that should only be interpreted as self-love, because the more you have love for yourself, the more that you can express love and show love. But the more, and that's what the dark forces do, they seek to strip away all sense of an individual's divinity, your divinity, your sense of self-love, your sense of being special. Because we are all special insofar as we're connected as divine, as sparks of the divine fire within us. That aspect is truly special, yes. Some people lose touch with that to the point where, but, so anyway, enough of that. But in my experience, love is what saved me. And perhaps it is my wish that love will save you as well. Hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned for further information, dissemination, broadcasts from the Umbanda, New Earth passion for compassion, strength, and cosmic love, baby.
Namaste. Namaskaram.